Hey, Rock.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm great now.
Yay!
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. Another Black Inspirational Spotlight again.
Yes, yes. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. It's good
Yeah.
to see you guys. I'm turning this light up so I can see.
I'm
How are
gonna
you
do, I'm
guys?
gonna do that too.
Y'all
We're
been doing your
good.
thing.
What's up?
I said, y'all been doing your thing. I've been watching,
You
keeping it
too.
close. Yeah. Not all the time, but I tap in as long as I can and then log out real quick.
Okay, yeah, because I know quarantine ain't stopping you.
Listen, and it's almost like the virtual world is just kind of taking over, and it's seeming like we get more done
Yeah,
on during the pandemic than anything.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what's up?
What's up? Thank you for coming back to us. What have you been up to since our last interview with Black
Oh man.
Soulutions?
Well, I've put out some music, of course. I dropped
Yes,
my single,
I'm gonna
the
talk
first
about
single,
that.
Praises Go Up, and that has been, God has just really blessed on that and breathed on that. So I started touring for that. I did a radio tour in November of 2019. And I even did dabbling in a little bit of fashion. So I was able to go to Fashion Week in New York in February.
Yeah,
And stayed out there in New York for a week, and then just really digging into my music and seeing what I want to do with it. But really, I think since the last time we did our interview, uh,
mhm.
just really promoting Praises Go Up, traveling back east, down south. I even went to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yes.
I
Got
sure did. Yeah, had a
to
good time
move.
down there. So yeah, I just been traveling and promoting and ministering and then coming home and regrouping and resting and then going right back out.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
that. Busy while staying safe and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
How has quarantine been for you?
It's been good for me. It's
Hmm.
been really good for me. And I guess when it first went down, we were preparing for the Stellars. We were about to go to the Stellar Awards, and we got the call that the Stellar Awards had been canceled. And so, what I was really, kind of gearing up for and getting all excited about, it just kind of shut down. And so I was like, okay, God, what do you want? What do you want me to do now that we can't even go outside the house? It'd be different if we could like go about the city and still do some things in the city,
Right.
but everything is shut down, and when you're secluded, it's a clear thing that you have to deal with self, you have to deal with family and friends, and you just have to kind of deal with God and what He's saying about you, about this world, about what's going on, and then you kind of have a moment to assess how you're feeling. You see
Right.
how everybody else feels. You're watching the news. You're on social media. You know what I mean? So you get a sense of what everybody else is feeling, but you kind of get a chance to sit down and really do some introspective searching about how you're feeling about your life. And then I don't think anybody really thought it was going to go on this long,
Right.
you know. So as it continues to go on and on and on, it gets quieter and quieter and quieter, and those inner voices get louder and louder and louder. And like, okay, so I can't even. You're not even gonna let me ignore this. Like, I got to deal with this, and I got to work on that. And that's what I did. I just, I also started writing, and Zoom has been amazing for everybody.
Sure has. Yeah.
Yeah, my family is I have a sister in Ohio. I have a brother in Fontana, Upland area. I have another sister in Arizona, and then my dad and my rest of the family's in Ohio. So Zoom was a blessing for us. We all just, jump on and stayed connected and seemingly got even closer. So it's
Yeah.
been real good for me. Yeah, yeah.
That's good. That's good. And so, for those who may not know you, tell us a little bit about Miss Geneen White.
Oh, wow. Well, I was born in Ohio. I was born in I don't know if it's little, but it's small compared to every other city, Youngstown, Ohio. And stayed there till about 3. I am the baby of 4. I have an older brother and 2 older sisters, and born, bred, and raised in the church, singing gospel music all of my life. And then moved to California. Right. Moved to California. And when we moved to California, that's when I kind of got involved in singing, got connected to a church out there in Inglewood and got in the choir and really, really started to sing a lot more. You know, I've been singing in choirs all my life, but really started to take my voice seriously when I graduated from high school, got in the choir. At about 17, 18, and that's when I really got serious. And then I met my husband, Jason White, and he is a professional musician, professional producer. And so started working with him, and then my voice began to develop a lot more. We started created a production company, White Throne Productions, and started getting calls to do different things. And so singing live and in church and singing in a studio or on a professional television stage, completely different. So I had to
Right.
learn how to sing all over again. So that kind of strengthened my voice. And then started leading worship in my church. And after that, seemingly I started hearing different songs just for me. You know, I just started writing and working with other producers and started writing my own music. And then God blessed me to start doing my own music, and pretty much the rest is history, really. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And who were some of your favorite artists growing up, or who'd you look up to, influences, and even now?
Yeah. Okay. So growing up, it was Yolanda Adams and Vanessa Bell Armstrong. Yeah, those are the two main ones. But now it's Deidre Cadden. It's been Deidre Cadden for about 15 years. Yeah,
Okay.
Deidre Cadden is my favorite gospel artist, and uh, I had the pleasure of opening up for one of his concerts when he did the LXW choir. He
Right.
had somebody call me and ask me to open up for him, and I was just like, oh, like, oh my gosh,
We
like
made
a
it. We
dream come
made
true. Yeah, but he has been my favorite artist and kind of mentor from afar for a long time. I think our passion and our energy, like-mindedness, where writing is concerned, kind of out of the box and kind of pushing the limits where gospel is concerned.
it.
And
Yes.
yeah, I think it's just his passion and his energy. Sometimes different styles. We have like different styles, but the passion and energy I often watched and tried to mimic until I came into my own. Now I'm kind of like my own, but
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely watched him a long time. And yeah, I think it was Yolanda Adams, Vanessa Bell Armstrong, because she could squall. She's got
Yeah.
the raspy voice that she could squall.
Yeah.
And then Deidre Cadden.
Right. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask, how do they, influence your music? Like, how do
Mhm.
you incorporate, or if you incorporate anything from their
Mhm.
styles and whatnot?
Honestly, I think it is the traditional sense of their approaches. Like I'm not a girl that does a lot of runs.
Mhm.
So although Vanessa Bell Armstrong is known for runs, she also has this simplistic approach to when she sings, it always sounds like she's just killing a hymn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every time even if she could be singing an R&B song, it just feels so gospelly and just feels so churchy, and but killing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I often try to mimic her style of interpretation of a song. With Yolanda, I think just she was Yolanda Adams. She's still Yolanda Adams. She's beautiful. You know what I mean? With Yolanda, I think it was a complete package. Uh,
Yeah.
she could sing, but she also was into fashion. She was always, she always represented us with such class and such grace and such,
Grace. Yeah.
yes, and dignity. And
Yeah.
so every time I saw her, I was like, wow, she's churchy, she's gospel, but she's crossover not because of the music, but
Mhm.
because of her presentation. And
Yes.
so
Yeah.
often
No.
tried to she was very out of the box with her presentation, so I try to do the same, just keep that dignity and grace and class, but stay true to who I am as a gospel artist.
Right.
But even the way she dresses at award shows and different things, wasn't a suit with a hat and gloves. It wasn't like churchy. It was
Yeah.
very, okay, I'm at an award show, I'm going to wear a beautiful gown, I might have a plunging neckline and my back might be out because I'm at the Oscars, so I pattern myself after her presentation a lot.
Yeah.
But Diedrich, just again, his passion and his liberty. He's not afraid to do whatever comes vocally or ministry wise. If he feels like slinging water, he's going to sling water. You know what I mean? If he feels like
Yep.
going around in circles, he's going to do that, all while giving you quality excellence vocally. He doesn't play with the vocals. You know what I mean? He'll give you a show. He'll do all of that, and he'll be very expressive. But then he can sing, and he's very serious about his vocals. You know what I mean? So still trying to catch up to that part, but yeah, that's what it was.
I love that. Yeah, I was gonna say those two artists are examples of timeless, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
since I was young to
Mhm.
now, they're just still, keeping up and going above and beyond in their styles and
Yeah.
the grace and so much class, and it's just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now let's talk about the music video that you just released, which is what I was watching right before. If everybody was hearing it, bobbing my head.
Right.
Jericho.
Right. I so it had been a minute that people were asking me, when's your album coming out? When's your album coming out? When's your album coming out? Aren't you working on an album? Is it coming out? When's your album coming out? Geneen, girl, when's your album coming out? And I was like, I don't know. So with everything that was going on, I took a social media break for a couple of months, just to kind of deal with my life and deal with some things that was going on with me personally. And while I was off of social media, I began to go through my folder of songs that was submitted for my album, not the ones that I wrote or did with producers together. There were certain songs that I recorded that certain songwriters had submitted, and was like, why don't you come in the studio? I have this song I think would be perfect for you. We would write together or arrange together, and I would just lay it. So I went through it, and I found the song Jericho. And I was like, I think this song would be perfect for the times that we're going through right now with, the pandemic, and then, the racism and everything that we were dealing with. I felt like visually the song, verbally and lyrically, the song expressed what was going on. But I felt like I could do something visually to express the times for right now. So I called up a friend, Chad Johnson, and I asked him, did he know of anybody that could shoot a video really quickly? And he was like, okay, so how fast do you want it? And I was like, tomorrow, like this weekend. And he was like, this weekend. And I was like, actually, I want 2 videos. And he was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah. I have 2 songs in my head, and I have 2 videos, and I don't know when I'll have this window of time, And I was like, surely nobody's busy because everybody's in the house,
Right.
So he said, okay. He said, I have a guy that I think can do it. And he connected me with LaDon Williams. And we got together on a Sunday. I went to church, led praise and worship, and then got in my car, my truck, and I sped out to Hollywood. We went to this studio and had a white screen on one side and a green screen on the other side. We were there all of 6 hours and listened to the song and shot the video. And midstream, while shooting Jericho, the lyrics they decided for me to just sit in the chair. That was Chad's decision for me to just sit in the chair and just tell the story. Yeah, so that, the lyrics would speak. Right. And as I was sitting there, they were basically saying, we could have some Black Lives Matter, some protesting footage, because these lyrics are really speaking about this movement right now. And he just so happened to have that on him, like he had the footage on him. And so he pulled out the projector, he put it up on the screen, and it was like the whole room was just like, ah. It just was like, yes, this is it.
Yes.
We did it. LaDon was amazing. He brought the dancer with him. I was able to meet Jessica, she's AKA DeSoto, and a powerful dancer. She came in and killed it. And then, the makeup and hair, that was I wanted it very simple, very easy, not a lot of fuss. I just really wanted the song to speak and the message to come through. I saw a lot of protesting, and I saw a lot of things on the news and people marching. And I guess this video was my contribution to how I was feeling as well. I'm not necessarily one to, march and protest a lot. I did do my part, but I wanted to contribute something that was life lasting. I wanted some type of footage, some type of contribution to my community. And so I also thought that that would be another way to do that as well, just to encourage us to stand up.
Yeah.
And come together, and God is with us. God is fighting for us. We do have to do our part, though. We do have to do our part. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's really what the song talks about. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. I think the visuals with the vocals and the music is just all so beautiful, and how it comes together. And if y'all haven't seen it, the link is actually in her bio. So
Yes,
as soon as
yes,
we're
go
done,
to
definitely go check that out. Yes. Like you must. You must.
absolutely.
So what music you dropping next? Let us in.
Well, there's a song called Doing Free. So what happened was when we registered Jericho, we also registered this song called Do Free. And Do Free was not scheduled to come out with Jericho, but they released both songs at the same time on iTunes and Spotify and all. So both songs just ended up coming out. It just so happened that I did videos to both songs, but we were just going to, kind of phase it out, but they ended up coming out at the same time. And so the next phase for me right now is definitely to promote Jericho. Found out through radio announcers and just by the ear that Jericho, between the two songs, Jericho is really the song right now. So we're going to start promoting that and pushing that. But Do Free is next. The video is, I believe the video is finished. And that one I'm really super excited about. It shows a different side to me. It's like a rock,
Yes.
almost like a country rock song. Like I said, it's available and a lot of people have heard it. So we started to promote it a little bit. But the message is also just as strong. I was going through something in my life where I was trying to please everybody, being a church girl, but also being in the industry musically, and then having my own sound and my own lyrics in my head. I was trying to be everything for everybody. And so when I go to church, no, you can't sing that over here. You have to sing this type of music. And then you go here, no, you can't talk over here because that's a different religion, or, something like that. And so I was just conflicted, and I just started writing my feelings like, I just want to, initially I said, I want to do me. I just want to do me. But then I realized that you can't just do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Especially when you have a purpose and a call on your life, you have to do what you're called to do. But then God was telling me, but I have made you free. I have set you free to do what I've called you to do. So go on and do free. And I was like, come on, God. Come on. Give me that. I was like, go ahead.
Exactly.
Don't give the title of the song. So I started writing my feelings, and basically it was just saying everything that I've invested in other people and other ministries and other stages and vocally, mentally, emotionally, everything that I had invested in others, I'm now going to take that same thing and invest it in me and invest it in my purpose. And because God is telling me to go and be free as I go. And so that's the whole song. And so that's one of the messages that I'll also be pushing. Not only are the kind of like along the same lines, not only are the Jericho walls coming down, the walls of racism, the walls of us standing together during this pandemic, and trying to be fortified and restored financially, as a community, tapping into being Black owned again, just kind of supporting one another as a community. That's a powerful way of the walls coming down and getting the respect that we deserve. So not just so spiritual, but again, there's certain things that we can do put our part in, to cause the walls to come down. Victory is sure, you know what I mean? And so there's a line that says, I believe your stock's about to go up. In Jericho, that everybody was like, yes, my stock's about to go up.
We
But the
ready.
thing about stocks is it is an investment. Yeah. So if you want stocks to go up, you have to invest. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
And
you gotta put in to get out.
That's it. That's it. And so in all spectrums, in your relationships, in your family, in your finances, in your knowledge, your information, what you allow in your mind, what you believe about yourself, what you believe about Black people, what you believe about just us as a community, period. The brainwashing, the detoxing, the all of it. That's what I've really been dealing with during the pandemic. It all came out like, how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about your skin? How do you feel about your color? How do you feel about how people feel about you? All of that, just start jumping into all of that and just assessing, and correcting and aligning. And yeah, all of that came into the 2 songs that I chose to release right now. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Queen. Yes, dropping gems. And that's actually an interesting segue to my next question, because I wanted to ask, what's most enjoyable to you being an artist, and what are the challenges about being an artist?
I think for me, because people have known me as a worship leader inside the 4 walls of the church, breaking out of that, oh, she's just a little church girl, she's just a little worship leader, breaking out of that and really showing people that I have something to contribute.
Right.
That's one of the challenges. Also being married to somebody who is prominent in the industry, and it's almost like a child, when your dad or mom is a celebrity and you're a child, and then you're now on
You're in their shadow, kind of.
the pressure is on,
Yeah, a lot of
for you
pressure
to perform. And so I felt that in the beginning. So those 2, just trying to show people that that's not all I am. I have more to contribute. And then also the pressure to be excellent, and to match up to the standard and the bar that we have as a production company, as well as, the greatness that is, Mr. White. It was a little rough in the beginning. And being a Christian artist, I don't know how to be anything else. Like,
yeah.
I do sing other music. We do sing a lot of inspirational music. We do, it's not all gospel or all Christian, but it's nothing defamatory. Nothing goes against our belief. But my sound was just a little different. My personal sound was just a little different. And I think in 2012, I was just like, I'm just going to be free to do what is coming out of me. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
Then at least I'm authentic. You know what I mean? And they received it, and they're receiving it well. So, support. And a powerful support team is always necessary. Those who speak into your life, not yes people, not people that are going to tell you you're great when you're clearly a wreck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're clearly missing it, and clearly,
That's so real. That's
yeah,
so real.
when you clearly whack, people will say, that was a horrible performance tonight. You know what I mean? Somebody's be like, okay, we're gonna go back into the rehearsal hall and we're gonna get that again, because the night was whack.
That's so real.
Yeah, so but I enjoy it. I enjoy everything about singing, everything about my self-expression, how I do what I do, and that came with a lot of just pushing forward, just pushing through, failing and trying again, getting back up and trying again, waiting and waiting and waiting for your season, waiting for your time, seeing your friends go forward, and honestly being happy for them and not being jealous, and, being supportive. I sing background for many, many, many years. I'm still singing background, at my church right now. I lead worship, but then on the Sundays that I don't lead worship, I'm on a team. I'm singing soprano,
Right.
So just being very supportive of other people in the industry, as well as, not being so proud to not ask for help. Asking for support, and, hey, I got this idea. Will you come help me out? Or I have to sing. When I first started singing, I had like no money to pay anybody. I used to pay my background singers $50, to do like a complete set, and they would do it, So now, we support each other. Like, I remember the days when I didn't have, and you guys, vice versa. Amazing. I love what I do.
On this on your
I
own,
think
my
you're
next
freezing on
froze
us.
a little bit. And you kind of
Yeah.
started touching on this on your own just now.
Mm-hmm.
My next question what advice do you have for future artists trying to break through in this game, into the industry?
Yeah, stay authentic. Stay authentic. I
Yep.
know there will be seasons where you feel like you have to change your sound, you have to change your appearance, how you dress, you, because of the demand of the industry. You know, the industry is fast and it's moving, and the sound changes. But that doesn't mean that, and not to say stay dated. I don't mean stay dated like just keep doing old stuff, but stay authentic, stay true to you. What flows out of you, stay true to that. And also stay open. You know, I worked with several producers on Jericho was written by a guy named Derek Butler and Isaiah Smith. So those, most of the time I write my own songs or arrange my own songs, but those particular songs I decided to come outside of the box and work with other producers. And a little different sound for me, you know, but I was like, but I feel it, you know, and it worked. So stay open as well. But you're going to get Neen. So you
Yep.
hear the raspiness, you hear the churchiness, even though it's, you know, an urban track, clearly, I'm still authentically Neen. So stay authentic and be open.
That's so real. Everybody get your pen and your pad.
Yeah.
You're dropping gems. That's so real. I couldn't
Yeah,
agree more. All of that.
yeah, yeah.
Now, you knew this was coming. I for sure need to hear a little something if you can for us. Can you sing a little something for
Oh
us? Or...
gosh, that's right. I forgot. Oh
We'd
my
love
God,
to
you did
hear.
say that. Okay,
Yes.
a little something. Um,
Yes.
let's see. Well, this is one of my favorite songs, so I'll just, it's an old school hymn or whatever. I've been singing it. Um, okay. So I'm complex. I'm perplexed. I have two songs that are running. Okay. All right. Come on, Gene, come on. I'm an overthinker. So okay.
With it.
Okay. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because he first loved me. There you go.
Hey! Yes.
I don't know why that's the first song that comes to my mind. Maybe because that's the first song I ever sung. And Dear Jesus, I Love You by the Hawkins. So it's just, Dear Jesus, I love you. You're a friend of mine. You supply my every need. Yeah. My hungry soul you feed. I'm aware you are my source, from which all blessings flow. And with this thought in mind, I know just where to go. I know just where to go. Y'all remember that song?
Yay!
That was the first song I ever sung before a crowd. I was terrified, and I was 6 years old. And just one of the choir director, he was like, I see something in you. I want you to lead this song. And I was like, I was a little girl. But, you know, that was the first song I ever sung. And I was like, I saw the people's response, and I was like,
here we go. Okay, yay!
I can do this.
I can do this. Oh,
That was like my first little piece of confidence that I had as a singer when I was 6. So I'll never forget that song either.
I love that. I love that. I'm so glad that happened. And oh my goodness. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, on to my next question. we see everything that's going on in the world right now, with everything with the pandemic happening, and
Mm-hmm.
racial injustice, all the protests and
Yeah.
whatnot. Now, as a woman of faith,
Mm-hmm.
what messages do you have for the people? What messages?
There is a book that I've been reading, so I want to read just a few little excerpts from it.
Yes, please.
This book is called History Maker by Cindy Trim, and she is definitely. It says, "Arise and take your place in leading for change and leading to change." Right, and there's just a quick passage that I want to read that she talks about our mentality as people of faith, our mentality as a community, our mentality in our nationality, in our genre of music, our genre as a preacher, teacher, whatever. And so I'm going to read this really quickly. She says, great examples of individuals who epitomize my belief include history makers such as Mohandas Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Sir Winston Churchill, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jackson, Stephen Jobs, and Walt Disney, among many others. She says, these individuals did not just make history, they shaped it. Their biographies are complex and riddled with challenges in that they are a study of both success and failure. But they each discovered their why and now inspire us to do the same. They taught less about me and I and more about we and us. And so that right there is really one of the main things that I'm focusing on, where my faith as a Christian is concerned, where my music is as it's being presented. I'm shifting from I,
Right.
like our songs are self-centered, or just me, us, and God. I'm talking to God, God is talking to me. But now I'm shifting my music to be a little bit more expressive and encouraging to we and us. And being a woman of faith, I just truly believe that it is contagious. I have to believe what I sing about, or else it's not believable. It's not convincible, if I'm singing something and I don't believe it myself. You know what I mean? So I take my life experiences, my relationship with God and what I've been through. I pin it, and I write it in a sense. At this point, I write it in a sense of encouraging someone else. I want my lyrics to be sung from their perspective, from our perspective.
I
So
love that.
I'm trying to stay away from writing songs about personal experiences
Mhm.
and testimonies, so that the other person can sing the lyrics and their personal testimony and their personal experience comes up and can be encouraged. As a woman of faith, it's everything. My mom taught me how to pray. My mom taught me how to go through life challenges and hold on to my faith, and believe in myself, but also believe in God and believe that God will bring you through. To have a good heart,
Right.
continue to have a good heart, no matter what life throws at you, to try to stay soft. And if you are having a moment when you're not soft, take a moment to get healed and then go back out. Because I think a lot of times we spew what we're feeling on the inside to others on the outside. And there is a moment when you should be angry, like now, like some of the injustices that we have been suffering. That these are days when we absolutely should be angry, but angry and smart. And I think that when we take our emotions and be self-expressive with that. I'm not the one that's going to say, man up, don't cry, let's
Yeah.
fight. No,
Yeah.
we going to cry and fight together, because that's who we
Right.
are. We are human, we are flesh, we are an emotional creature.
Right.
um, but also, as we're crying, we are latching on to our faith in God, or whatever higher power you believe in. You know what I mean? I know everybody is not a Christian, but whatever source you believe in at the time, or whatever faith that you have, whatever religion you are, there is always something that you can hold on to. And I personally believe and profess that it is God. You know what I mean? That will encourage you and strengthen you in
Right.
the journey. So build your faith around that. Build your faith around, come outside of you, realize that it's bigger than you.
Right. Yep.
It's a lot bigger than you. Things may overwhelm you, the racism and the financial depravity that some of us are dealing with, the loss of jobs, the loss of homes, COVID, kind of being geared towards, or so to speak, geared towards African Americans, and or that's what's out there. You know what I mean? And it's amazing. I had a conversation with someone today, and they were saying how it was kind of comes off that COVID attacks African Americans because we don't take care of ourselves, right? Because we eat wrong or we eat bad. We already have these preconditions in our bodies, and that's why the virus can attack us and easily, take us out, because we just don't eat right and we don't exercise and we don't. But that's not necessarily true. And they gave me a great perspective of when we came here to America, when we got on the boat, when we came in Savannah, there were so many bodies on the boat that and a lot of people had died on the boat. So you have live bodies on top of dead bodies, and you know what I mean? And so there's a lot of disease and mentality, emotional mentality, as well as physical things that we contracted, that we carried through generation to generation to generation. And so a lot of things are not because we don't eat right. A lot of things have just kind of been generationally disposed inside of us. We were talking about how we have friends that have diabetes, but they run 5 hours a day. Like, they can work out 5 hours a day. They eat healthy. They do everything right. But yet she was saying that they're on diabetes and medication. And we were like, where did this come from?
Right.
Well, it didn't necessarily come from their family not eating right, and it had nothing to do with that. It really does have everything to do with how we were brought here and how we were preserved while we were here. And I believe we are such a resilient people. We are such a people of faith.
No doubt.
We took all of that, and then we were like, okay, we see what was handed to us, but what we're going to do is we're going to become doctors, and we're going to become lawyers, and we're going to build things, and we're going to create things so that we can sustain ourselves, even though this may have been the way we got here and what's happening in our bodies or whatever. We're still going to win. We're going to take that, and and not only that, we're going to help you. What we create, what we build is going to save your life. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's faith. That's our faith. That's our resilience. That's the power that is within us as a people. And it runs over in every area, in our creativity, in our music, in our wardrobe, how we dress, in our minds, how smart and brilliant we are. You know what I mean? In our education, and what we pass down from generation to generation. It all stems back from, no matter what no matter what happens, no matter what is thrown at us, no matter what we're dealing with, from generation to generation to generation, we're going to win because we're resilient in our faith. We got it. We got this.
Right. We got it.
We got this.
Oh my
And so many people had that and have gone on, but they left something with us. You know what I mean? They left something with us, and we have to do the same. And so for me, it's me as a Christian artist. For someone else, it might be writing a book. For someone else, it might be creating another cure for cancer or something like that. But as long as we contribute something, I think it's important. Yeah.
That's real. That's, like you said, that's important. That's imperative.
And that was not me. That was thank you, Tracy Artist, for the conversation today. I don't want to take her stuff. We had a conversation, and she brought that up, and we were just discussing, that whole Savannah up until today experience on the boat up until today, and just what our bodies have been through. Yeah, it's been a lot, but we made it.
Generation to generation to generation. And like you said, it's so important what we pass down too. So. Yes, and that we know where we came from. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Yes. Now, furthermore, how can you or anybody else for that matter be a solution to their community or in their community?
I honestly think, as you introduce yourself to your neighbors, and kind of see what's around your neighborhood, I don't think that it has to be like this big old thing. I believe in marching and protesting. I believe that's as we come together as a community. I think those are the big things. But
Yep.
I think we can do the small things by just going next door. This is a pandemic. You can see. I was driving down the street the other day and I saw a complete family
Mm.
that was outside, literally living in their truck, but they were having dinner outside. So they had pillows. You could clearly see they were living in their car, but they had pillows and they set up the little food and they were eating with children, outside. So, I gave them, some money and, little things like that can help build the community, step by step by step. And then, of course, we have the organized movements that, push our agenda of liberty and, stopping racism and all of that. But I really do feel like it's what can you do as an individual? What do
Right.
you see every day that you can contribute to? We're huge givers. My family, we're huge givers, and not just in money, but in service, clothing, food, serving the community. Some of the people, our church is big on communion and praying with people when they're sick. So you can't come to church, we'll go to your home, and we'll pray with you and we'll give you communion there. Little things like that build the self-esteem. You feel cared about, you feel loved. When you feel good in your heart, you heal. That's
Right.
the main thing about healing. It's the heart. The stress is the number one killer. And then you have heart attack after that. So the stress of life is what causes all these other things. So when you lift the burden of your brother, when you lift the burden of your sister, and you ease the stress, you heal the heart. And when you heal the heart, you heal the person. And when you heal the person, you heal the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You heard it right there. Right there. It'll
Yeah.
help you out. This whole,
Yeah.
it'll come back to you. And
Absolutely.
we're social beings. We're meant to work together.
Absolutely.
So we got
Absolutely.
to come together and work together.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Miss Geneen. Thank you so much. Tell everybody how they can find you, how they can find your music
Hmm.
on social media and everything. And I know the link to Jericho is for
Yeah.
everybody who came late. The
Yeah.
link to Jericho is in your bio. How do we find it? How do we find out?
You can go to any digital outlet, iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, and get Jericho. It's available now as a single. Initially, it was just a video, but everybody was like, "Oh, we want the song," so we released the song, of course. So any digital outlet, you can go there. You can visit me on Facebook, Geneen with a G. Everybody be like, we can't find you. I was like, because it's spelled with a G, so it's
Yeah.
Geneen. White on Facebook, and even here on Instagram, Geneen.White. And just reach out and go get the music and tell me what you think about it. And, you'll also get praises go up. So you'll see the large spectrum that everybody's talking about. Whoa, she went churchy. Now she's urban. Now she's this. But it's all the same. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for dropping all these gems and
Oh, wow.
and learning us a few things.
Yeah. Thank you
And
for having me. Thank you. Well, I appreciate it so much. And Chris. Hi, Chris.
so good to see you doing so well, and
Thank you.
all the blessings, all the
Thank
blessings.
you. Thank you so much.
And until next time, thank you so
Yes.
much. All
Yes.
right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.